Hi viewers, I'm pretty excited about the watch I'm going to show you today. It is a beautiful piece from the French manufacturer Yema. This is the Yema Heritage GMT. It's the new version. There was a previous version that was slightly different to this one. This new model is an improvement and it's a very special watch in my opinion. And just a quick word on the presentation, because that's really very good too. They provide the watch in this beautiful leather box, nicely lined, really good. And then you have a leather warranty card as well, which is really smart. And then a little booklet showing all their wonderful watches. Good stuff. So let's get it out and go over the specs quickly. So first of all, this is clearly a vintage style diver, which is beautifully done and has a very appealing size of 39mm for the case diameter. The thickness is just 13.7mm, the lug width is 19mm, and the lug to lug is 48mm. So a very compact dive watch, and as you can see it has that wonderful box dome sapphire. This is quite a special double dome sapphire crystal, and the type of sapphire that you see in much higher end watches. And that dome actually measures at 2.6mm thick, so a pretty decent size, but just adds that vintage feel, and it really is appealing. I do like a domed sapphire glass, and for me I find it especially appealing when you have a flat bezel. Just seems to go so well together, as you see in the Omega Speedmaster Professional. Just love that combination. Now this bezel has an aluminium insert. As you can see, it's two-toned. You've got the blue and the grey, and the numbers are really super clear. The markings on that bezel are etched in and filled with lume as well. And there is also a Pepsi bezel version of this watch, but I've had a few Pepsi bezel watches in the past and always ended up flipping them, so it's not my cup of tea, but this one I do really like. The blue and the grey combination looks great. And the dial, a lovely deep black dial. And one of the new features of this watch is on the dial they have the word World Time printed in red, which matches that red arrow tip nicely. Now the other major improvement on this newer model is the bezel and also the movement. This is powered by Yema's own in-house caliber. That's the Yema 3000, and it has a 42-hour power reserve and is a very decent, accurate and reliable movement. And this retails at around about €1,100. That is very decent for a watch of that price to have an in-house movement. Now currently, I don't know if they've got any left, but they're selling these with a 40% discount. So if you like this watch, now's the time to get it. It really is a special watch. With that discount you're getting something very good for such a relatively low price. Now before I go on any further about this watch, I just want to have a little word about Yema as a brand. I have read quite a few comments from previous customers that have owned Yema watches. There's a lot of good comments, a lot of good feedback, some very happy people, including myself. But there are a few people that have said that they like the watch, they like the look, but it's broken, or the customer service is terrible, quality control issues, which is a shame, and I'm sorry for those people, but Personally, I have not experienced any of that. I do have another Yema watch, this quartz rallygraph, which is brilliant. I've had that a while and it's never missed a beat. Very reliable, never had any problems with it. And the customer service I've received from Yema has been exceptional. Faultless, reply to all emails, they have a great live chat system on their website. And delivery from France to the UK is super quick. This watch came in 2 days, as did the other one. So I can only say great things about them as a brand. Maybe they've had some problems in the past and they've listened and put them right, but yeah, personally speaking, I really recommend them. I'm very happy with them, and their watches seem to be very well built, good features and great value for money. So let's go on to some other details about the watch. The lume on this is great, and we'll see that a bit later. It's all filled with Superluminova BGW9 on the indices and on the bezel. The water resistance rating on this is actually 300 meters, which is very good, especially considering it's actually a GMT watch, not a specific dive watch. Now, the other thing about Yema is they're very well known for this bezel locking mechanism, which I find quite interesting. It looks cool. It's quite a nice unique feature and distinctive for the brand. And it is actually quite useful on this particular watch because, being a GMT watch, the bezel, as you'll see in a minute, so that unlocks the guard by unscrewing the crown, and then you can move the bezel. Now, this is not a ratcheted bezel, there are no clicks, so it is bi-directional as well. Very smooth, but as you can hear, no clicks at all. But it works really slick and silky smooth action. So you do need some sort of locking mechanism, because it would be quite easy to knock it otherwise. And to lock it back in place, you just screw down the crown and it clamps this metal guard here, and you can't move the bezel at all. So it is actually quite a useful feature. So then, obviously, to set the time, you unscrew the crown again. It's a slightly gritty mechanism on the thread, not too bad, a little bit gritty, but a nice pop and a nice slick smooth action. And then to change the GMT hand, put it back to the first position, and then you just turn it towards you to change the GMT hand. And then to change the date, just turn the other way. Very nice movement, and then just screw the crown back. So that's all good. Another great feature on this watch is the bracelet. It is very well made, has a lovely taper to it. So it starts off at 19mm and then tapers down to, I think, 16mm. Fluid movement on the bracelet, on the links. There do look to be push pins on here, not screw pins. The clasp is very nice as well. It has a smart embossing or engraving of the Yema logo there. Fold over buckle. Nice milled arms, and it's even etched with the Yema branding as well. The bracelet also has an extension, a very well made milled steel extension. Really good, especially for a GMT watch, and a very nice satisfying click. Very good. And then a very attractive case back with the Yema coat of arms there. Really nicely done, brushed polishing on the main part of the case back, and then the centre you have this embossed relief highly polished, really, really pleasant to look at, nice tactile feel, good quality. So all very decent and things you would find in a high-end watch. I'm finding this watch very hard to fault. There's not much wrong with it, if anything. I can't really think of any, apart from that slightly gritty feeling thread on the crown. I can't see any issues with it at all. It really is a marvellous watch, and I do really like vintage dive watches anyway. It's probably my favourite style of watch, and this ticks all the boxes. Really wonderful. So let's have a look at Yema's website, because this is one of the best manufacturers' websites I've come across. Often when reviewing a watch, I like to get as much information as I can, and I go on to the websites of various manufacturers, and more often than not there's very little information about the watch, just a few computer generated pictures and a few lines of marketing babble and not much else. But this website from Yema is the best website I've ever seen from a watch company in terms of the information they provide. So here we are on the web page for the Superman GMT Heritage, and yes, you've got some nice photographs and some text, but now the first thing they mentioned is their amazing in-house movement, the Yema 3000, and you get a little video showing you the movement, which is great. And then it even has a separate web page talking about the movement in more detail if you want more information on it. And we can click that and have a look here. Yema in-house calibers. So here's the GMT is the Yema 3000, the normal three-hand is the Yema 2000. But it tells you all about it, pictures, information on the comparison between this movement and the Solita and ETA and the Myota. Really extensive information, very useful if you want to know more about it. Then we got the tests, and then some diagrams. I mean, really going into a lot of detail here, all about the hairsprings and the different wheels and the rotor. It's fascinating if you're into that kind of thing. A lot of information, and then there's even a little bit of history on the brand. Great stuff. And then if we go back to the watch page, got some close-up pictures, then information on the bezel, a lot of information, even telling you about the thickness of the domed sapphire crystal, and the fact that this is quite a special crystal, mainly found in high-end watches. It's constructed from two convex faces that require 3 times more sapphire than plain sapphire crystals. You know, I didn't know that, and I wouldn't have known that if they were like other manufacturers and just put very little information on. So very helpful. Information on the bezel lock, the bracelet, the loom, all about the time zones on the GMT feature. And then we've got all the dimensions you need to know: the diameter, thickness, lug width, what the bezel was made out of, and we can break it down even further on more information on the movement, the dial and the bracelet. And then we have a really great diagram of the watch showing all the measurements. Excellent. A very good website. And the chat feature is good too. So really, I know people have been unhappy with Yema's customer service, but I've only experienced really good things from them. The watch came within 2 days, as I said, super quick, and their website is fantastic. So maybe they've listened to the complaints and really improved, or they've always been like this, I don't know, but I think based on their website and the service I've received personally myself, I think they are an outstanding brand, and yeah, I'm very, very happy with them. Right, okay, I think it's about time we put this gorgeous piece on the wrist just to show you how that looks. Yeah, that looks wonderful. It really is a very nicely fitting watch. It is really a comfortable watch. Love the way the lugs curve down and follow the wrist, and that tapered bracelet. I haven't sized it yet. Couldn't wait to get this on video, but it really is a nice taper. That's very smart. That's really pleasing to the eye, and looks very classy. There's that wonderful box dome sapphire on the profile. There you can see the nice coin edge bezel. The aluminium insert is painted to perfection. It really looks flawless. Catches the light in a great way. Got a slight metallic look to it. Excellent. Okay, now I'll show you that lume. It is a very decent bright lume. That BGW9 looks wonderful. Love the colour. Glows very brightly. Lasts a long, long time as well. And that is so easy to read at night. They've done a great job with that. So many manufacturers seem to miss the point when it comes to lume, and they for some reason can't pull it off, but this Yema watch has pulled it off, and that's great. Nothing disappointing about that lume at all. Okay, before I wrap up, I'll just zoom in on the dial, show you that in more detail now. Yeah, that's really smart. The printing is immaculate. Love that second hand with that little red pip on the end. Looks great. And the printing with the text is super crisp. There you can see the date window is really well done. That is nice to see the printing in white on the black. That's another new feature with this watch. The previous model was a white date wheel with black text, and that didn't blend into the dial as well as this one does. That really looks fantastic. Nice white printed frame around it as well. And then you see the Yema logo, again, really well printed. The bezel, super sharp. Really great contrast on that bezel with the white on the aluminium insert. Just stands out and so easy to read. The tip on the GMT hand, the arrow, red arrow tip, looks pretty flawless to me as well. And there we can see the crown is signed. A lovely embossing of the logo. And then we get that stunning case back. Excellent, really super clear. Very good embossing there. Nice attractive design. The finishing on the case is flawless as well. It really has a great look to it. You've got brushed finishing all around, horizontally. As you can see, you've got drilled lugs on the end as well, and the surface of the lugs is also brushed. So this watch pretty much has a brushed finish all over. Wonderful, really, really superb. Okay, well that's it. That's the Yema GMT Heritage, the automatic with the in-house caliber movement. An absolutely astounding watch in my opinion, especially for the money you're paying. It had it all. Beautiful looks, great features, great finishing, and lovely to wear too. So I hope you enjoyed watching this, and I thank you so much for watching. See you next time.